Over the course of 2 decades, the Duclod Man generated fear by sending bunches of anonymous letters to students at multiple colleges, accusing young men and women of being bisexual and of being dishonest by hiding their sexuality from both straights and gays, accusing them of hiding in 2 closets, which he considered being dually closeted, and which he called Duclod. Letters from the Duclod Man were postmarked from several different states. He also maintained an anonymous internet presence by setting up pages at free hosting websites and by leaving comments in various fringe forums. Even his graffiti was identified in public bathrooms from his unusual use of language. But the police were baffled, and his written assault continued. In 2004, reporter Sarah Aswell began a high-tech search for the Duclod Man, whom she calls Richard. Richard's letters were mostly directed to senior students at Grinnell College in Iowa and the University of Kansas. They were posted to the U.S. mail in groups during school breaks, sometimes sent to the student's home address, where there was a chance it would out the recipient to his or her parents. The envelope contained a sheet of paper, folded like a homemade greeting card, with childlike drawings of men crawling on the ground, trash cans, and closet doors, and included a written message that could be a threat or an off-color joke, such as, "DUCLODS die twice." Sarah tracked Richard through a long and increasingly disturbing chain of clues he left on the internet. He advocated the training of boys in how to be abusive in a comment left at a battered women's forum. In a forum dealing with autoerotic asphyxiation, he pretended to be a young teenage girl. At the end of the chain, she found a website with an old resume that belonged to him. He turned out to be a gardener, overweight and not an attractive man. She found his photograph, his home address, his real email, and his phone number. She tried calling him, but was answered only by a robotic female voice from an answering machine. Neither did he respond to Sarah's emails. Then, in the style of his own method of attack, she sent him an anonymous letter, which said, "Stop sending messages, Richard." Next, her exposé was published in The Advocate, an American magazine covering events important to the LGBT community, which has won numerous mainstream publishing awards. But the Duclod Man did not stop. He continued his inflammatory letter-writing campaign. Aswell decided to out him to his family. A family spread across several different states, from which he had been mailing his letters. His father was dead, and his mother old and nonplussed. But Sarah made a connection with his 2 sisters. These sisters said, "Richard may have autism, but since he grew up in the 50s, he was never officially diagnosed. Intellectually, he was slightly above average, but he had the emotional development of a 10-year-old, they said, and he lived as a recluse, and his health was not good." In Aswell's follow-up article in The Advocate, she revealed that his family did confront him, asking him to take down his web pages. He took down the pages. On the last page to be taken down, the Duclod Man published an apology. Although the apology is rambling and makes conspiratorial references to memes like the New World Order and Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, he ends his rant like this. I always looked for others to feel superior to, and really thought I could build myself up by putting others down. But it just doesn't work that way over the long haul. And I'm sorry for the pain I caused to others by going postal the way I did. I was hurting people more than I realized.
I have seen some of the experiments shown in this film actually carried out